is just an assumption, don't get me wrong here. If Panasonic is releasing, you guys can see that like the excitement behind it becomes a bit more genuine than when Canon is releasing. I mean, Panasonic, they normally hold on, take about 3, 4, 5 years, then they release. You guys always know that anytime Panasonic decide to release, they know that the fans, it's going to be mind-blowing. Canon recently, I'm not sure if this is an actual rumor coming from Canon, but I've never seen a rumor, I mean, speculating straight from Canon before. Normally it is third parties and all that. So here we do have the Canon R5 Mark II, and I just don't get it because Canon seems to hold on to cameras for so too long. I don't know why they do that. I mean, you guys do have the original R5, and then you guys said no, it's a hybrid between photos and videos, which is quite understandable. But now they released the R5C, which stands for the cinema world, I mean the cinematography side, which it is a beast of a camera when it comes to video specs. And I kind of like that camera, especially for the fact that it's got a built-in fan intercooler. I like the way it is. It's more geared towards, I mean, cinematographers, which is very nice. But now they are announcing, they are rumors speculating that they're going to release the R5 Mark II. And this is crazy, but my thought, if it was to be me, or I would personally say that it'll be best if they can just jump straight from the R5 Mark II, because they seem to stretch these names too much. I mean, you may find out that after this R5 Mark II, it's not going to be the only one. There might be R5C Mark II, or R5 Mark III, R5 Mark IV. Just like the way they used to do with the DSLR, the popular one, the 5Ds. There was 5D Mark I, 5D Mark II, 5D Mark III, 5D Mark IV, which there's high chances that they might shock us with a 5D Mark V. That's just personal thought. I mean, you never know what Canon is up to. So here we do have the R5 Mark II, and this specifications that is actually speculating what people are assuming that the specs will be is just crazy, because if this is going to be an actual specs, then this is going to be a serious race. This is going to be a serious competition. And I'm not going to even care about this. I'm not even going to hide this. I will say that now Canon is actually in competition with Panasonic. You can say whatever you want to say, but this is what I think. This is what I personally think. But I'm not saying anything, but all I know is, if ever this gets to be released, the R5 Mark II, then Panasonic, trust me, I'm definitely sure they are in the factory trying to manufacture S5 Mark IX right now, which we're looking at 12K with 90 megapixel. And I mean, it's just crazy the way camera companies are treating us these days. But I mean, who are we? We just need to sit back and enjoy the ride, man. So here we do have a new sensor, which is going to be 61 megapixel with SBI sensor. I'm not even sure where the SBI is coming from, because all I know is the CMOS sensor, and that has been in Canon, I mean, board's engine for quite some time now. It is a popular one. So seeing the BSI, I'm not sure what sensor that is, but I believe it's going to be a new technology with some new features and way improved autofocus and all that. I mean, we're talking about autofocus that Canon has, which is already the beast. I mean, we do know that the eye tracking, Canon's autofocus, hands down. I mean, I've been using Canon for ages, and their autofocus never seem to lack, except for the older ones like the 7D, which I'm currently shooting as it sucks, and I'm actually manual focusing right now. So that is a serious sensor right there with 61 megapixel. 61, like that's crazy. That's a huge figure here. This is a huge figure. I don't even think there's a DSLR with that. I don't think so. I think it might actually compete with the Z9. I'm not sure about, I forgot the megapixel of that, but this is a very huge, and it's a full frame sensor. But my problem is, where is Canon actually gearing this camera to? Are they gearing it to photographers or videographers? Because if they are putting this much of a megapixel in a camera, guys, that's crazy. I mean, this is starting to look fake now. I mean, for the fact that we cannot be able to count the megapixel does not mean you must just put some crazy numbers. But either way, I know what Canon can do. They do better. So we will see how it goes. And it also got dual digit X processor. So already there was a digit X, I think, in their previous R5, but here they're talking about 2 processors inside, which is insane. And then we're talking about a 30 frames per second. Woo. Okay, so I think now I totally get where this is going. So it's a photography camera, if that is what they're trying to say. So 30 frames, that's electronic, and then you just have the chance to all the way until you finish your sensor. So you do have 30, and then you do have 12 frames mechanical. It's quite decent. I think for sports and wildlife photographers, they might actually be happy with these specifications, but I mean, that's a lot of figures, man. That's a lot of figures. It's got 8 stops of Ibis, which better still, we still can't calculate it, or we still can't verify. The only thing is for it to come out for us to know how good the Ibis is. But I know that wherever or no matter how good the Ibis is, it can never compete with Panasonic. I mean, let's be real. I don't even think it will get to the GH5 level. But I might be wrong. I mean, I might be wrong. I do know that Canon normally try to improve, just like the way Panasonic was trying to get ahead in terms of autofocus. But let's just not jump into conclusion until we see what they got to offer. I mean, there's a whole bunch of specifications, and the one that actually excites me is the fact that you should be able to record 8K at 60 frames per second. In that body, guys, like 8K at 60 frames. That's crazy, guys. I don't know if you guys understand this figure. That's a lot of numbers we're talking about here. And I'm not sure where Canon is packing all this to, but now I think it's now gearing their specs towards the Z9 and the Z8, because this is actually a Z9 specification here. 8K, what type of file, what machine are you going to be editing that on? Based on all these technologies and specifications, this is definitely not only for photographers. I mean, why will a photographer even hold 8K at 60 frames in the hands? Just that's a massive, videography specs and photography specs we're looking at here. At 60 frames, I don't even know if that got a crop. So it says that 8K raw video specs to be confirmed. So which means there's high possibilities that they might update the firmware with, a RAW included, which is still beefy, man. So we're talking about also 4K at 30, 60, and 120 frames whilst recording, all by sample. So which means 4K will be oversampled, and then I'm not sure if 8K will be sampled, but they're talking about RAW, which is still to be confirmed. So I guess it's not fully confirmed yet. And then we're talking about full HD at 240. What type of slow-mo will you be getting with that? That's crazy. That's some huge numbers here, man. And then focus breathing correction. Okay, so they're trying to add some new technology. Obviously, with this big sensor, this is to be expected. I mean, there will be some new. I'm pretty sure that the menu system might even have a little bit of changes. I mean, Canon is fan of surprising their audience. So it says that longer without overheating at. Okay, without overheating, let's say, okay, so new heatsink unit for a longer, so which means they are actually changing some internals to prevent the camera from overheating. They even said that the R7 does not overheat, but I think some people try to put it on test, and some people actually try to, go way beyond that, and it's overheated. Sorry about that. It sucks in here, man. That dog. Anyway, so it says that 60 minutes recording for 4K videos, and there we go again, same old issue. But 1 hour for 4K video recording, I think it's pretty fair. Maybe we can manage it, because 1 hour, after 1 hour, your battery should probably be dying by then, unless maybe you are using a V-mount or something. And a Geo CF Express Type B slot, which is very expensive, so you should be prepared for that. It's got a standard HDMI port. What do you mean standard? Is that full-size HDMI? Or, well, if they say standard, which means it's the standard one, which full HD. So I guess that's normal. And then a new design of variable angle LCD for video shooting. What do they mean by new design? Because okay, so I'm not sure what that simply means, but I'm guessing they might go with the Panasonic style where it tilts and flippy thing, but we will just have to wait and see what Canon got to offer. Overall, the body style is just almost the same as the regular R5. Maybe a little minor improvement might be there. I'm not sure until I see it. I mean, but this is crazy. I mean, with these specifications, man, this is packed, man. I wonder how much the price will actually be, because at this point, a lot of people might estimate cost. You never know. But I truly believe that it might be probably around $4,000 or more. Yeah, plus minus somewhere there, but that's just an estimation. But it can be less, it can be more than that. I'm not sure. But with this particular, I just don't know. But I think overall, I would say this camera is purposely for hybrid shooters, someone who is more into photography and also more into videography. But just know that with the videography, there are a bit of limitation, just minor limitation, like 4K 60 minutes. I mean, the one hour thing, and yeah, also memory card seems to be a bit on the expensive side. So that is, but I think they might release this camera before the R1. Yeah, I think the R5 Mark II might be out before the R1, so we just need to sit back, put on our seatbelt, and see what Canon got to offer. But I just love the race. I just like the competition right now in the market. Like, it's so amazing. I wish they can be doing this every day. We get content every day, you know, and it also helps. I mean, the more these new cameras comes, the more the older ones become cheaper. So whilst they are releasing the R5 Mark II, definitely the original R5 will drop in price. I mean, probably I might be able to pick one for $1,000. You never know. Anything can happen. But this is dope. I actually love this. So guys, let me know your thoughts, your comments about this whole releases. I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm very sorry about that. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I guess I will see you guys. Hey, do not forget to subscribe. It helps a lot. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Peace.